Hello everyone. So recently I made a video using OpenAI baseline plus retro to train AI models on video games. But unfortunately I forgot to talk about a huge performance bug that I have a fix for that I use locally, but I forgot to mention it. So it's a bug with the scale full frame wrapper. I'll show the details a bit later. But basically, it reduces your training FPS by half, depending on the number of environments you use and also the model you use. So it's a pretty big bug. The reason why the fix is not in OpenAI baseline yet, even though I discovered it 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, is that OpenAI is in maintenance mode now, and so they don't do any proactive bug fix, and also they seem to have stopped processing pull requests since over a year. So that's why. So the fix is pretty simple. It's in the retro wrappers Python file. So basically in the wrap DeepMind retro function, you have to put the scale to by default to false instead of true, so that scale full frame doesn't get called. The reason is that in most models, the input image already gets normalized on the GPU, which is much more efficient for this kind of operation. So basically, when it was to true, the image was getting normalized 2 times, which brings some obvious problems for the model accuracy and model training, but also brings problems in terms of performance. So if we look at we're using the NVIDIA Visual Profiler, the data transfers are much larger when it's floating point buffers instead of 8-bit pixels buffers. So as you can see, it's a pretty big chunk of time spent on transferring the data to the frames to the GPU. So at the end, what happened is that in most training scenario, the performance was cut in half. So let's check an example with and without the fix on Atari Pong. So as you can see, the FPS is a bit below 800, sometimes 900. So we'll let it run for 2 million frames and check the results. Okay, so now the training is done. As you can see, trained it for 2 million time steps, and the result is not so good. It still loses to the opponent by a lot. So it still has a score of minus 20.5, which is awful. So now we're going to try it with the scale frame fix. As you can see, the FPS is much bigger, and depending on the number of environments you use and the model parameters, the performance difference can be even bigger. So we're gonna let it run and see the results. Now the training is done. As you can see, the score is a bit better, minus 17.6. after 2 million time steps, like for the other test. So if you let this run even more, you will see the much bigger difference in the score as well. So this is an example of the fix. Depending on the game, on the color of the game, it might affect the training performance differently for different games. So I made a fork of baseline with this fix. So if you want to use that, just git clone this repo. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to press the like button. If you have questions, comments, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.